underneath the gill and grabbed it and threw it up on the top. I was like, wow, that's a big ass fish.
Well, tell the story tell the story again. My thing went off. Tell the story again.
Which one?
The fishing story. Now,
okay.
Now your granddaughter likes to your granddaughter took the fishing. Like, but you had to go fish with your grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And she took it real good.
Well, I have five grandsons.
You got 5 grandsons, right? Okay.
One granddaughter, and they're all from one of my daughters. And their dad is kind of, he's more of a preppy kind of guy. He don't really know how to fish or none of that outdoor shit. But my daughter does, because I always took her camping and everything. So she was like, we're going to take the boys fishing. We're going to take Ray Ray fishing. Ray Ray's my granddaughter. She said, I bet you I catch a fish. Well, nobody caught anything. Nobody caught anything. She did have a bite of a big catfish. You could see it in the lake, and the catfish was biting on her. And every time she went to pull it, she just yanked it out of its mouth. Mm-hmm. She was the closest. But my grandsons, they didn't know how to use the lure. Not know how to use the lure. Cast it out, and you're supposed to reel it in slowly. Mm-hmm. Well, they kept snagging it, kept getting them hung up. So I was like, well, just jump in the lake and grab them. Go in there and untake the snag. So they all just took it upon themselves to run and jump off the dock, and they just kept doing it the whole night. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take them camping day after tomorrow. I'm going to take them camping before school starts back up. And hopefully it'll be a really good time. Hopefully the rain stays away. Because I ain't never took them camping before. You know what I'm saying? And they like it when I camp with them. Because they know I like the outdoors and camping and everything. And I just want to teach them some shit before I pass on. That way they know how to do some things. You know, because it's always good to know how to fish, catch your own food, skin them, clean them, eat them, and know what to eat, what not to eat. Learn to read the signs in the wall, in the woods and shit if it's going to rain. Learn a good spot where to camp, not to camp in like a wash or nothing like that. Because, you know, a flash flood or anything will get you out of nowhere. Spider bites, show them how to get over spider bites. There was something else I had to show them. Bee stings. Yeah. How to take a bee sting out without pushing it in a sack and pushing the poison into you. Or the venom. You gotta take a card or something, scrape it out.
Now, see, you, now, I told you that the first time I ever caught a fish, I went up to Dark County to my mom's aunt's place. I was 13 years old. It was like a big Labor Day celebration. Like, all family came there. I mean, it was just packed. And, you know, cousins, brothers and sisters. I mean, it was just packed. I mean, everybody. And I was the only one who caught a fish. It was my first time fishing. And everyone else was on people for fishing. I was the one who caught a fish first time. That's pretty much rare.
What kind of fish was it, you know?
Really small, but I didn't let him go. Well, it was good. He was good size. He about medium-sized fish, but he didn't let him go. It was in a pond. But
it was probably a smallmouth bass. About you big?
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, probably smallmouth bass.
So, what was the first time fish you ever caught?
First kind of fish I ever caught was bluegill.
Okay, how big was it?
It was a good sized bluegill. Wasn't big. They're considered the rats of the water because they're everywhere and they steal your bait. Well, I was catching bluegill and cutting up the bluegill, getting them in chunks and dipping them in salt, and I'd hook the guts up to it and I'd sling them out in the water and I'd catch catfish. And a big ass catfish, man. I mean, I wouldn't eat a catfish. There's a lot of feeders, I just can't do it. But I will catch them and let them go again. But the biggest catfish I ever caught was that big. It was the first fish, like real fish that I ever caught, other than bluegill. It was about that big. Probably about a 35-pounder.
Really?
Yeah, it was a good sized fish. I won't go noodling. Where you go under the water and stick your hand down inside a hole and grab the catfish by its mouth and pull it out. That's dangerous. If you grab a hold of the wrong size catfish, it can hold you underwater.
Right.
You know what noodling is, don't you?
Huh?
You ever seen noodling on TV?
Noodling?
Yeah, you ever seen anybody do noodling?
No.
That's when they go out into like riverbeds and shit, and they'll go out in the river, and the river will be about this deep, and they'll find like these holes and shit, rocks and stuff under the water, and they'll go down under the rocks and they'll stick their hand in the rock where a catfish is, and they'll stick their hand in the catfish's mouth. They'll wiggle their fingers and make the catfish bite their hand. Well, they'll grab it by gill and they'll pull the catfish out. Well, sometimes some catfish are a little too big. Or you're going to stick your hand in a snapping turtle's mouth or something. and that's something I'm always worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Snapping turtle will get you together real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, okay, what's the biggest fish? You tell me something like, what's the biggest fish you ever caught, like, or your dad's ever caught? You were telling me someone caught a big fish
Oh,
here.
northern pike.
Huh?
There's a northern pike.
Okay, how big are they?
Well, they can get up to 6.5 feet long.
Really, can they?
Mm-hmm. The one I caught was about 4.5 foot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their heads are longer than wide.
Mm-hmm.
Its head was about that long.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty good wide fish too, though. But those fish go around eating any other fish there is. That's what
Yeah.
they eat. They just eat any fish they come across.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a hard, like, forehead. And what they usually do is if you're casting out and you go to reel it in, they'll jump out of the water and hit you in the sternum.
Ouch.
And they'll make you drop your pole, and then that's how they get away.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like them sturgis out in the ocean with the swordfish.
Mm-hmm.
If you're reeling them in, the swordfish will jump out the water and try to stab you with a sword.
Well, that's how Steve Irwin and them dying because like one of the stingrays,
Yeah,
shot him in the heart.
man, I never thought that man would die like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, I don't know what exactly he was handling, but I mean, I think he was shot somewhere else. He might have lived. I don't know. Like shot in the leg or something.
Well, he pulled
something.
it out. Is what it was. Is he pulled out the stinger.
Mm-hmm.
When he pulled out the stinger, it let the venom go inside. And when the venom went inside, it went straight into his heart.
That's right.
And he didn't have no time to get to a hospital or nothing. He was out in the middle of the ocean. You know. But I thought he'd get eaten by a crocodile or something for real.
They said that's pretty rare. They said they're actually pretty harmless. Like I was swimming all around them, and they were just like
Well, what it was is the cameraman, because I actually did a little bit of study on it. The cameraman startled the stingray as he was coming up to it,
mm-hmm.
and the stingray went to swim up and go past him. And when he did, he swam up and he smacked Steve with his tail right in his chest. Mm-hmm. And that's how the stinger came out and got him.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I remember that day too. Real good.
Well, the thing was though, it's amazing though, but like fish, like did you ever like do a lot of hunting or anything for like animals?
See, I would like to go hunting, but I can't just shoot a defenseless animal unless I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, I really don't like to do. I would just stick to home eating or out to eat.
I would rather just go out and shoot like targets
mm-hmm.
and pretend like I'm out hunting. I guess, like I would shoot a duck and eat the duck. That's not a problem.
You would rather shoot tin cans or something, basically.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot a tin can or something. I would honestly rather just go out and learn how to shoot over the crossbow or something, then go out and shoot a deer and only eat half of it or something. Yeah. You know, that's wrong. I think it's wrong. Shooting a defenseless fucking animal for sport, mm-hmm. that's wrong. This is wrong. I ain't got it in me to do something like that. Now I can go out and shoot a duck, because I love a duck. Mm-hmm. You shoot a duck all day. No matter. Ducks really piss me off. And I like eating them. They're a little greasy, but they're good eating. They're easy to clean. They're a lot easier to clean than a damn chicken. I used to go to my grandma's farm, and she'd be like, all right, it's almost dinner. Mm-hmm. Who's going to go out and get the chicken? Damn, I know she's going to ask me. She'd be like, all right, Philbert, come here. Mm-hmm. She'd come over and hand me that damn meat cleaver. She'd be like, go out there. And she'd pick a chicken out, and she'd be like, get that chicken right there. It'd take me an hour to catch the damn chicken. An hour.
Really?
Yeah, because I go out there with that meat cleaver. As soon as they seen that meat cleaver, they knew what it was. And all the chickens would start running everywhere. And I couldn't get a different chicken other than the one she asked for, because she had a specific order for them. And I remember I chased that damn chicken forever. And then my grandpa came out, and he was like, didn't she give you any chicken feed? I was like, what? Mm-hmm. He was like, watch. He throws a little chicken feed, and that chicken come walking right up to him. He snatched that chicken up by its head, broke its neck, laid it down on the log, cut its head off, and that chicken jumped up with no head and started running around the yard. Mm-hmm. I was like, what the hell?
This when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's kind of traumatizing a little bit, man, for real.
So you guys, that's what the chicken you guys had to eat, or what?
Yeah, we had fresh chickens, fresh eggs.
Well, that's one of the chickens you ate?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. He showed me how to gut them, defeather them.
And eat them, cook them.
Yep.
Hunting.
He lived off the land. He was a farmer, and he had a farm, and he didn't have to go to the grocery store for shit unless he wanted like some soda pop or something. You know what I'm saying? He even had his own ice cream machine.
That's
He'd
cool.
make his own ice cream.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. I like that.
Well, thanks, bud, for the interview.
Thanks for calling.